Dunkel.
Oh,
But
man.
meaning, like, in general, like,
Bauman.
just boom, get the objective. Like, I'm not asking for a long time. Maybe like 6 weeks.
I mean, if you want a hero that can do that, may I introduce to you Suyo, which does the same thing but
Yeah,
better.
but I don't like going up against the CEO. CEO is hard to catch. Bauman, not that hard. And Bauman is a new player friendly. Speaking of which, Natan gets picked up, and Defovius, a good counter matchup against this Arlet.
Wow.
Okay, Guinevere jungle.
Valor and royalty.
No
in a
way it's
dead
Guinevere,
body.
right?
Leo.
Whoa.
Hey, talk about flavor.
That's why we like different flavor, different approaches. Hey, right into the sunset with that ultimate.
Barbiel. Well, Barbiel is
it's
the name of the horse.
Yeah, the name of the.
We gotta respect the horse. But either way, right now, Kazakhstan, they have a mixture of a little bit of everything here. You know,
Thumbs up, he hurts. But that is a big if, and we'll see if Kazakhstan reaches that critical mass point. Game 2 between Kazakhstan and Indonesia kicks off right now.
so the big question is, can the Leomort farm? Right? Like that sounds like a weird question, but after game number 1, we gotta be realistic here. Going up against a Fanny, and look at this, Iran is trying to get it, but that still secures it. But still, this is already a bad sign where Indonesia, they're showing their attention, they want to fight.
And they didn't get the litho even with the retribution. That is unfortunate.
I mean, like, again, a big sword from Leomort does a lot of damage, and this time, it's nice to see that Kazakhstan, they're not pushing their advantage so much. Oh, look at that!
That's gonna be first blood. He used his retribution early on, and Indonesia was keeping track of that, so now Joe will easily steal this orange buff away. There's nothing that Tastic could do. He gets vision, he calls Risk 40 in, but this Harif doesn't want to participate, so orange buff is gone, all we're forced to flicker out, as disaster has already started happening for Kazakhstan a minute and a half in.
Like it or not, this Leomort requires a bit of time. It requires some items, because what you want to do is get opponents low enough and then you execute them one by one. But you can't execute them if you can't, push them low enough. So Kazakhstan, they got to figure out how to slow down the game just a little bit. Allow the laning phase to extend and don't let go of a lot of turrets. I feel like you're allowed to let go some turtle. Considering that you're going up against a Fanny, they might not even rush that. And you might even be able to punish that. But how about let's all get level 4 first and then talk about fighting the Fanny.
Not only that, they actually have the means to bring people down for the critical hits to come through, but it's just that they need to execute it. And Open gets executed in the middle lane. He's not hitting 4 anytime soon. First turtle in control by Indonesia. Iran having no issue at all against Baby Argot. In fact, to jump onto him with the Infernal Pursuit. And Baby Argot with the final slash, but Iran should be safe. Hughes back up, gets the passive into a face bump knock. Baby Argot just couldn't win this trade as the turtle goes over to Indonesia.
Yeah, the sustain is a little bit too much, but now Weedy looks like it is going to be safe with the AOG. Hero landing back into the mid turret. And now it looks like a nutter force out 1v1. Looks like all laners, they want to push each other to the limit.
They should do Kabuki in that 1v1 against Risk 42. Tastic's close to level 4. The Tsunami Slam is now online, but they don't have the damage profile to do it, and Tastic gets a chance to even use that. Killing spree for Joe.
Yeah, right now, again, Indonesia starting off 3 minutes with 1,700 gold lead. For Kazakhstan, they don't have the best wave clear without Leomort. Leomort really helps out a lot. And look at that. Oh my goodness, Joe, calm down.
Giving in the touch and go experience. Blink it and you miss it. He is almost 2 levels ahead right now with Europe Des. This is already looking pretty dire.
You know what's worse? Indonesia scales well.
Yes.
Natan, Farsa, like the siege is going to be unfair. So having this early game with a scaling comp, yeah, it's not looking good for Kazakhstan unless a 5-man final slash.
Oh,
into 5-man get hit by Barbiel and then Group Des gets a savage.
Yes. That would be the best case scenario, but we're pretty far away from that. They lose Oven again. Aran wants to get out from this, trying to heal back up. Oh, Aran! He still survives! Winnie saves him, but Aran eventually goes down after way longer than he should have.
Yeah, that was... He survived much longer than I thought he could, and it's all because Cortez could not get in position. He keeps getting blocked by the wall. Barbiel has been eating a little bit too much, unable to slip through the cracks. And look at eventually they did get him. Jodo having 5-0-0. Tashtik has to catch him, man.
Wow. I mean, great purify from Yuhescu to not get hit by the final slash. So Joe, he's not making it easy. Gets knocked up though by the title slam. Oh, what a great catch. That's the shutdown that they need. But Kabuki is in the fight, and Indonesia is ready to brawl it out. Aran on the chase. Falls back slightly. They find a ton of Witty helping them keep maybe Agop in place as Aran continues to go to work mid lane. Tashtik in a 1v1 against Kabuki. Doesn't really win that out, sadly. And also, Tashtik ends up going down, baby. Agop had to flicker to safety. Indonesia still comes out on top.
Well, this is good. Look at that. Kabuki did not thought a wild Leomorn will be waiting there. Speaking of which, has to get away here. And he will not. Shut down for Ezekiel.
Did he not see Witty walking up? It's a pretty weird interaction, but you know, take the wins that you can get. He did get a decent bounty on Kabuki, so this Leomorn isn't exactly as far behind like he was just a minute ago. We're looking at a 3k goal advantage for Indonesia, or close to a 3k goal advantage for them. And Joe, just like game one, is having a fantastic time.
Yep. Shout out to Marco is in chat as well. Hopefully you're enjoying the spectacle here in WEC 25. We're up to 6 minutes here. At least Kazakhstan is able to get a few kills on the board, able to get Joel, able to get Kabuki. And that's the thing about Dangerous Grass, man. Like, you always forget.
Yeah.
There's someone could be in there.
I mean, Kabuki is not going to be happy about getting stabbed by the Leomorn early on. But the later the game goes, the harder it is for Indonesia.
Fight,
to do much. They take out Joe. That's great. It's maybe Agop that finds the kill. So there's control over the objective for a little bit, but Turtle doesn't spawn for another minute. Indonesia gladly will take this final slash kill, but maybe Agop. The taunt from Witty will connect into a better airstrike AOG. He's just bounce house. And sadly, Tashtik is a bit too late. They get a bottom tier 1, but at the cost of their Arlet.
Hey, I feel like they'll take that trade any time because the Arlet honestly is causing a bit of problem here for Indonesia, so I don't blame them for making sure that the chain CC is enough, the damage is enough, because he's been escaping death a little bit too much here. But now Kazakhstan, you're going up against 4. They don't know it yet, but they can't overextend here. They gotta wait for more members, because at this point, I feel like Kazakhstan, the best way for them to fight is actually with the team.
No, and now it's gonna be harder for them to find. They have used that brilliance. Sure, he's trying to find some farm on the map, but sadly the min waves are not in his favor. His jungle is cleared out, and he's far away from the next viable camp, which is the top side of the map. Maybe Tashtik can be the one that sets things up. He has to be the one that sets things up. Maybe expect a flicker at some point. Then they solo kill Kabuki. Jirov Des getting the job done.
Yeah, I saw that Witty used the AOG trying to save him, but a little bit too late. Again, going up against Leomorn, he does actually deal quite a lot of damage, and now Ezekiel getting hit by Ovlin. Speaking of which, if we move the camera a bit, yeah, there you go. You see the Fed airstrike used, and no one gets caught.
Joe comes in, gets dragged away, but the tsunami stab and still jumps on the Jovin. Sadly, the distance gain wasn't enough. Going to Joe, the stun. Whoa, the final slash, baby Agop! Almost making magic happen.
If it weren't for the revitalize,
yeah,
he would have gotten that kill. Baby Agop, man, he's here to play. It's like, you know what? Give me the Arlet first pick. I'll deal with Indonesia the best that I can.
You know, we have like 16 total kills across both teams, and we are only looking at a 1k net worth differential. Kazakhstan definitely having a way better game. That is Flicker into a final slash. Kabuki has to use a Purifier. Taunt to baby Agop. He jumps away, gets hit by Aran into a feather airstrike. He is down, and they also lost Jirov Des as Joe solo kills him bottom.
Yeah, I feel like he already got a Purify. He should have just waited for a little bit, but he thought he had enough damage, which maybe eventually, but again, I feel like you got to show a little bit of respect when your opponents does have 1,600 gold lead. So that was on baby Agop. I feel like he got what he needed. He just overstayed his welcome.
You have to always keep in mind that Indonesia has a lot of burst damage, but also has a pretty easy to land crowd control. Kabuki gets a bottom tier 1 too, and with Witty around, it's pretty hard to contest him, and Baby Argo can only hope and try to hold this turret. The taunt from Witty, not doing enough. Baby Argo goes forward, Feather Airstrike is dead on the final slash. Can he gain that distance? Final pop from the Feather Airstrike takes him out.
Hey, at least you can say it took 4 people to take me down. And 4 of them, frankly, have to use everything. Both Kabuki as well as Ezekiel had to use the ult. But now, Kazakhstan, what have they gotten in the meantime? They got some camps in the jungle to give over to Leomord. At this point, it will be a nice time to see the items, to see what does he have at this point. I'm thinking War Axe. I don't know if he goes for the BOD though.
Wow, that actually hurts. That's 2 salvos of Feather Airstrike, and Ovim is down to less than 50. Tsunami Slam with the grab back, but that's Witty you're grabbing. No way Witty goes down. They call him Barbell, Jiro Dash ready to fight, final slash, Witty under the tower, but easily gets away. Aran jumps in, he also disengages with the flicker. Witty gets jumped back on again, and gets a 2-man pullback from Aran, and Kazakhstan not able to find anyone.
Yeah, the only time you would pull over a roam if it's inside the turret. Or better yet, inside the base. So I think that was not the intended target. But again, maybe a bit of panic, just smashing the button and then just end up picking up Witty. If it was anyone else, they could have gotten a kill. But with that, Indonesia is standing at 3,400 goal lead here. Kazakhstan should have a bit of difficulty unless Baby Algob gets a clutch final slash.
He has some good like flicker final slashes, but it's not enough as Jiro Dash is going to end up going down to Yehescu. Joe is in the fight looking for some individual plays. We can find it so far, but Indonesia, without the Leomord to worry about, should be able to get this Lord no problem, as Joe just purchased the Brute Force Breastplate.
Well, the 10-minute prediction is not there. It's already 11 minutes. Kazakhstan is extending as much as they can. And they do have a draft that can potentially punish the opponents. Whenever Kazakhstan kills Kabuki, that's their window.
Yes.
That's when they can confidently say, let's go all in and hope we win this team fight. Once Kabuki is out, there is still a lot of damage coming in from Indonesia, but is more manageable than an Atan.
Another Feather Airstrike, that's 1 salvo, and Ovin loses 40% of his health. It's gonna get harder from this point onwards, and Kazakhstan knows it. 4.5k goal advantage for Indonesia. Lord spawns bottom. Kazakhstan don't really have the best team comp to wave clear.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, they can fight, but they gotta use a lot of abilities, like maybe even the Hive has to use the Zaman Force just to clear the minions. The good thing is that it's 11-minute Lord, so it's not the toughest. Even with enhanced minions, it's not that tough just yet. If it's 15, 60 minutes, that's when you start to sweat a little bit. But Kazakhstan, I feel like the best approach for this one is you have to win a team fight. There's no buts and ifs and all of that.
Yep.
Even if you survive, even if you defend well, it's not good enough. You have to win a fight. You have to get someone from Indonesia here.
Witty finds a taunt. Good, brilliant. Ovin to survive the knockup. They grab Witty back, and that's the Tsunami Slam. Witty goes down. Storm charges into the bottom inhibitor turret. Kazakhstan will have to deal with it. They get the stun to Aran, but Aran should be able to get out, not a problem. As Joe tries to go on Tastic. That's going to be a win to Crown. Tastic will survive it. Not that Joe fully committed. Lord will be eventually taken care of. And Indonesia will call off the assault.
I would say that's better than nothing, considering the fact that Witty was able to take a lot of ults coming in from Kazakhstan. Oh, hold on.
Baby Argov is going to go down. They cancel the Feather Airstrike, but Yehescu flies away. Aran tries to go for chase, and Kabuki will finish the job, and now Aran's going to be in the front line. Zaman Force is out as they blow up Kabuki. What a flank from Tastic and Jiro Des, and that's 2 bodies down for Indonesia. Kazakhstan are still in it.
Now we're starting to see the damage coming in from Kazakhstan. They have the damage, they just need the setup. But it looks like Kazakhstan, they need someone to bait Indonesia first. It looks like the bait was Baby Agop, and I kind of feel like he's A-okay with that, considering the amount of attention that he's been getting from Indonesia anyways. And then even I didn't see the flank coming in, and neither did Kabuki. Having to Purify makes it so that he can't escape once he used the entropy.
Yeah, and if the Leomord is on you, you are essentially dead. There's no getting away from Barbell. Oh, they've able to cut the gold deficit down. to less than 3,000. I think that's...
I mean, the fact that Riz already has the Holy Crystal, I feel like they're in an okay spot. Like, they have enough items where if a good setup happens, they can get a kill. Speaking of which, Gerdes does get the BOD at this point. At 14 minutes in, the burst damage is going to be much more. So we said it as a joke, but this time, Baby Agop, if he gets even 3 people in a final slash,
Yep.
I feel like one step of Barbil can get a kill.
Oh, they found a jungler. That is the most prized target.
Has been slain.
Moving that down, there's going to be a free Lord. So I would say it's pretty weird that he was hiding in that bush.
That was a roamer positioning. That was not a jungler positioning.
We thought that Kabuki is going to walk up again.
Yeah, it's like, what would... Guys, I caught him once. Just trust.
There's Lord number 2 for Indonesia. And whatever control that Kazakhstan has gotten early on, or at least wrestled back, it's now completely handed back over to Indonesia. Feather Airstrike used, doesn't connect onto anyone, only pops the Tina shield for Baby Agop. It's all about the structures. Kazakhstan has a lot stored for them to deal with.
I mean, they force Indonesia to use the ults, but with how the Lord is moving, they're going to be having the ults again for the push later on. So I want to see a flicker final slash, and this time, oh, he already commits to it using a lot of damage.
Wow, that was just one ability. So there is hope. As long as the cooldowns are off, there is hope that the damage is going to overwhelm Indonesia. It's actually more durable without Widdy and around. But even then, if you could bring them down to less than 50%, this Leomord will cut through them.
Speaking of which, the Leomord is actually clearing the waves quite well.
Ah, he's doing so much damage. Brilliance deals another Barbiel. Whoa, you remember that?
Yeah, but he's trying to catch with the taunt. Indonesia, are they going for this? Looks like no, they're just going to wait for the ult to go down. But at 60 minutes, he's going to have that ult in roughly 15 more seconds. So
yeah.
This is actually dangerous for Indonesia here.
I mean, 2 successful defenses for Kazakhstan already. Of course, the margins of error still pretty minute. What? That entropy looked dangerous. Because Kabuki didn't take it, thankfully, because that would have been his death. Kazakhstan can't really walk out of the base, but at least they have a composition that can punish Indonesia if they overstep.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. One step from Leomord, right? Like, one momentum getting hit by that, whether he's on Barbil or not, apparently deals like a whole ton of damage, and is really carrying Kazakhstan here, where it's creating doubt for Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because even Kabuki, I think he wants to entropy in and then blow someone up. But it's like, what if I get stepped on by Leomord?
Yeah, if you don't like take out the Leomord from the fight and he gets an opening in, it destroys your health bar. And that includes Joe too. Right? He might be slippery, but if you get rammed by Barbu, you still sort of kind of get destroyed instantly. 50 seconds until the 3rd Lord. This is the longest game so far, at least for the open division. So Indonesia still have to lead, but it's not as big as...
It's not comfortable.
Yeah, it's not something comfortable like game 1, right? This is definitely a comeback-able game.
Look at this. They are just waiting in the bush, and they found Kalia.
Small price to pay in Makati is going to be expended, though. That's something that will sting a little bit for Kazakhstan, but better the Kalia than anyone else.
But look at this. Gerdes. Again, the positioning is very dangerous, but maybe they don't know.
It's cooking.
They don't know. Shh.
Get something. Oh, Kabuki! Oh, Kabuki! Oh, Kabuki is gone!
And even forcing out a flicker from Iran, I was worried a little bit because it looks like he was going to miss Barbil.
They even caught Widdy. 2 Widdies down for 35 seconds. This is Kazakhstan's best chance at making that comeback happen. The only thing standing in their way is the potential steal from Joe, but he's not even going to try. Kazakhstan gets the 3rd Lord of this game.
Who would have thought that the Leomord, this pocket pick, this Kazakhstan hero, is giving them this opportunity to take the game off of Indonesia? I mean, like, we had clean sweeps the entire day here, Husky.
Oh, it would be quite the record if this is what it takes. If this is what it takes to take down Indonesia, I'm all for it. Or at least this
new
game.
meta.
In new meta. The golden steed, they call it. Like the rising sun. We did say that you can ride Barbie into the sunset. And this could be it, this third lord. Let's see how much damage they can do, right? It's not enhanced yet, sadly. It's not evolved yet. So, definitely not the final form of the lord. But just look at the state of the map. Kazakhstan are now standing out into the open. They are now commanding respect from Indonesia. These bushes are no longer safe.
If Kazakhstan is able to force out a few abilities coming in from Indonesia, and look at this, even a potion being bought by Gurvdes. Usually in this point, we see junglers saving gold for a change of Winter Crown.
Yep.
It is like, you know what? Damage. Damage, bro.
You can never have too much damage.
You can never have too much damage.
All right, let's see. They get this lord to crash. Widdy is going to hold it. Maybe Agop. It's stunned off, sadly, so this lord will not get the crash. Pop inhibitor. But the airstrike expended very early on. Indonesia with a successful base defense.
But hey, at least they get the second tier turret for both mid, and looks like they're going to get bot as well. And Joe, we can see that now he's aware that if he goes in, there's a lot of bursts, right?
Yep.
Bursts coming in from Oven, Gurvdes, and honestly, Baby Agop, even if he doesn't kill him, all the chase, all the stuns, is going to give enough opportunity for the team to eventually do something about it.
Speaking of dangerous grass, talk about dangerous grass. You're just standing in positions that you normally shouldn't be allowed to stand in. And it has paid off. Immortality just got bought as well. I would assume he sold his boots for that. Now the tough question for Indonesia arises, right? You have two heroes on Kazakhstan side that can literally one-shot you, right? Lunox and the Omor. Speaking of which, Tastic will be able to flicker the safety. There's no more feather airstrike, no entropy, no AOG. Kazakhstan forcing out some key abilities from Indonesia at the cost of a tsunami slam. And now Lord number 4 is on the map, and Kazakhstan are looking good.
Yep. So now the Lord is up for grabs. 21 minutes in. This is going to be a tough Lord. Looking at the bottom wave, Kazakhstan has to manage that well to make sure that there's no shenanigans coming in from Indonesia, because a backdoor is possible. So look at this, already crawling in bar build just to push them away, but that's going to go down soon. Indonesia's just waiting it out.
Yeah, no bar build means you got to reset the Lord, but they might not get the chance if they lost Gurvdes. Tactic goes in, but he's also slow on the trigger. He might go down, Aran, Dark Wave, flicker forward. Purifying does get used by Riz, but this Aran is so hard to take down. Gurvdes needs some help from his teammate, and maybe Riz will come to Winnie. Ends up going down, but Kabuki has the entropy. Gurvdes, Immortality comes out, Riz ends up falling. Gurvdes could not survive. Kabuki saves the ship, and Indonesia will be the one that claims this victory as the Heskill clears out the bottom wave. All members of Team Kazakhstan eliminated from the fight, and Indonesia, after a 22.5-minute slugfest, will take this best of 3 in a 2-0 fashion.
Congratulations to Indonesia for closing things out 2-0.